guys feel like most people that are married didn't have sex before marriage?
Well, this is the thing. You got to understand how men. Because of course, I've seen this happen 3 times. Men know in the beginning if they want to marry you or not. It don't matter if they sleep with you or not. See, this is why I tell women to stop sleeping around so much. These men still know they know, and they treat you like wives. They don't treat you like girlfriends. They don't treat you like buddies. They don't be your friend. The problem is you still have to have standards when you go in wanting marriage. That is a talk that, number one, that my daughter-in-laws, they went in, they was like, this is what I want, point blank, period. We're not saying that they were little virgins, because no, they were not. But at the same time, I still saw how they moved, and I still saw how my sons moved. And I can tell you, it do not take men long to know if they want to marry you. But my point is, you got too many outside, too many women out here just having loose sex, and they think that's and this man never showed them that he wants to be with them. He never showed them that he wants to marry them. They give up the cookies, and now they want him to act right. Now they want him to put a ring. He just showed you that he wasn't.
Lady O, that wasn't an argument.
I understand that, but I'm just explaining to her.
I think all of us understand the argument that a loose booty is gonna lose a lot of leverage. That wasn't
like I'm not vouching for decision making
with that. Yeah. What he said was, if girl A gets with guy A, and they both and there's more to her than just sex. She has all these other qualities. He said that if she has sex with that guy, whether she's a virgin or not, as soon as she has sex with that guy, she will lose 80%.
Use leverage. It doesn't matter.
It don't mean she lose value. It means leverage is what he was saying.
80%
it's the key difference between those two things, Sweeney. Leverage being the ability to negotiate for what you want before you get it. Like if she say, you gotta pay me. Just listen.
I get the argument. I already
you gotta pay me $1,000 to have sex. After you had sex at one time, it's gonna be hard to get that same $1,000.
I give you 200.
The value of it, the leverage to negotiate changes is what they saying.
No, I get that. That's what I said. I understand the concept. When you say you lose 80%, when you say that you lose 80% leverage, you literally just reduce the woman down to her vagina.
No, that's just you reduce her down to the 20% less, the 20% remaining.
Bro, 20%. If somebody loses 80% of their value, bro, they have literally almost no value.
We're not talking about her value. We're talking about her leverage. You keep associating leverage with value, and White just tried to educate you.
No, the thing is, they both go hand in hand, bro. You can't. They both go hand in hand.
So what are you leveraging?
The reason why I left
exactly. What are you leveraging?
Wait a minute. The reason why I left the 20% on the table, because in some cases, women are still able to get to the altar with the remaining leverage they have. But I'm saying it's a significant drop in her negotiation power. It just is.
What are you basing this on?
So this is what you're saying. You're saying that most married couples, she didn't sleep with him before. She was able to leverage the holding out, and she waited to have sex to get married.
That's not what I'm saying. And in fact,
here's the problem I'm having with that. So Darwin, look here. So if you unless you bent it out the frame so bad that you mutilated her or something, why is it that
you don't want to do it again?
Lose 80% of the leverage after you hit. What happened in between that?
The curiosity gap is a powerful thing, and it's often intersects with a woman.
So are you saying based on
you just made Marcus' argument that most dudes have to have post-nut clarity before they decide? Because if a dude knows he's gonna marry a woman, whether he has sex with her or not, then he's gonna marry her, whether she gives it up to him or not.
She's still losing negotiations. It don't matter.
Negotiations.
It's post-nut.
No.
Listen, he's marrying her.
It's individual. You're
trying
to
y'all said it like people sitting at the table saying, "Hey, I'll give you 6 eggs."
Okay, he gonna yell. If he gonna yell, all I'm saying is you cannot bridge his individual discernment with her leverage. Her leverage is separate.
Doesn't matter.
Their leverage is completely separate from his discernment.
She's still at the mercy of him putting a ring on her finger after that point. It don't even matter. It doesn't matter.
But I'm saying, to Laisha's point, to accurately measure that, you would have to bring in all the interactions of the people who had sex first and walked away from that as well, to actually get the number versus the people who actually succeeded and went to the altar after having sex.
So
you get what I'm saying?
The only problem I'm having is the separation of value from leverage.
Because I would argue that most people, and this is just me just throwing it at the wall, I'm spitballing, swing words. I would argue that most people who have sex before they get married, have a higher likelihood of it not working out or getting to the altar versus if they actually wait until they get hold it out.
I'm gonna put a little thing. Okay, so I watch those little marriage shows.
Whole culture. I mean, not whole culture.
Like those Married at First Sights and those shows. I do watch those reality shows, and I noticed exactly what you said, Darren. The couples who did not what is it the marriage consummate the marriage, they actually are the ones that still married. It is 100% a fact. But the ones who did it in between, the 4 weeks that were each other, none of them either briefly made it to the end and divorced late or 6 months later during the reunion show. But the other ones, if you go back, even the ones that's 5, 6 years, 7, 8 years later, they are still together in higher numbers. It's a fact.
No, I believe that. I believe that. But the problem with that is, anyone could say that those people are going to wait definitely have a different value system than the people who wouldn't wait. Would we not agree with that? So could it possibly be that based on their value systems and their principles with God, that could be keeping them glued into the marriage versus the sex itself? Is that unreasonable to say?
That's a reasonable thing. The only reason why it's reasonable, because if a man was faced with a woman with that type of value system, Trev, to corroborate why she's withholding sex, men actually look at those women in a different light, separate from other women. Because it's a woman who's trying to maintain her purity.
So confusing.
I would say most men. I would argue most men would respect that. It's a respect thing that comes into it. Like, wow, you're really actually trying to make a difference between all of these women that's in the streets. Maybe I need to respect that, and I'm not gonna try to push her into it.
But it wouldn't just be because of the sex per se; it would be because of the value system that she has. Yeah,
well, it would make the man. It would make the man tap into something maybe he was taught in the past. Because you know how your father say, "Hey, you need to do this," and you got some of these Bible thumpers on their kids. It might make him tap into his memory, like, you know what, this is the right way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should respect that, and maybe it'll cause him to elevate his value system. I think the woman could compel this man to change his value system. He might want to just be going around busting down, but he might find somebody with the qualities of being a wife, and she's withholding sex, and be like, you know what? I think I found my woman.
So you're telling me a man of sound mind, you're telling me a man of sound mind who knows what he's supposed to be looking for, and he ran into a woman that is everything on this, that is a wife.
Mm-hmm.
He would sit there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna still wait this one out.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying everything with him may indeed be in place. He may still want to marry her. But I'm saying her leverage, her negotiation skills changes. What you keep trying to do is trying to build.
So what negotiate? All right, so outside of sex, what can a woman negotiate with?
Outside of sex, she can negotiate her time,
being compassionate,
negotiate the intimate connection they have.
Y'all saying all that shit falls in 20% of her. All that shit falls in 20%.
No, it wasn't. See, so what you're trying to do is compartmentalize it too tight.
No, you said she gave her part. No, you gotta. If you're gonna make the argument, you gotta stick there. You said
I'm making an argument
off of sex. So you said when I asked you, what does she have to negotiate with?
Some of these qualities, when a woman has all of her leverage, a lot of these qualities overlap with one another. You get what I'm saying? They overlap in the percentages. They don't just break out 80-20. But I'm saying it's a tremendous drop because a lot of things just don't even matter. Period.
No,
you said 80%, Darwin.
You said 80%. So
go ahead, Dr. Lady O.
Once you get,
you want to get married?
I'm not talking about post-nut clarity.
Not anymore.
We're not talking about post-nut clarity. Because he said,
and if that man try to leave me, girl,
I'm not talking about post-nut clarity because he said the man is of sound mind.
I need a lavender
He's not
marriage.
thinking with his dick. We don't walk this down. He's not talking about post-nut clarity. We're talking about a man of sound mind. You telling me, I asked him, what does a woman have to negotiate with? And he mentioned all this stuff, and all that shit falls in 20%.
Still marriage. If she already had sex with him, just the marriage itself. Because at the end of the day,
so then the only thing that matters is
now, because the ball is still in his court. Because now she's still got to walk on eggshells. Because she's doing something wrong.
What are we basing this on?
What
are we basing this on?
Can somebody start a lavender marriage app?
What are we basing this
on?
A
lavender marriage is when you're married to. A lavender marriage is when you're married to a gay man for emotional support, and it's a beautiful thing.
Listen,
you guys,
real good
I love lavender marriages. He's gay, but he's like your best friend, and y'all hang out together, and you feel so emotionally supported. I have a gay best friend, and I love him down.
I think we taking it. I think we taking it too far. Y'all putting too much on it. In all honesty, I don't think, but what no gay dude that I don't think so. Yeah, I think that she would. Now the dude is not going to be a traditional guy and be like, ultra masculine. I can't see that at all. He may have plenty of feminine ways, but I don't think that his sexuality would be homosexual. I think he would probably heterosexual. I don't think
she'd do that unless she went on the record and said that.
What
who literally wanted to say she wanted a lavender marriage?
I'm just saying it's looking real good in the face of this.
Oh, no, don't do that.
I'm losing my leverage.
So, hold on.
You know what? He don't even want it. Don't even worry about it.
Y'all are reacting without listening.
He just gonna
she is comparing. Y'all basically just made a lavender marriage sound better than what we was trying to present to her as a more viable option.
That's what she's saying.
When you get up,
she's not saying she wants one, but if she's going off of what we're saying up here, we pushing women to gay them.
No,
we're pushing them right into homosexual arms.
Corroborate Trey's point on the value systems. If she value what does the lavender guy do again, Laisha? The emotional.
Yeah.
That means she's telling us she only values the emotional support or connection. That's her value system. So everything else about a man doesn't even matter. He can be swinging,
wow,
what?
sweet rainbow.
Wow.